Apple makes a phone that starts at $799. That's the number they put in the ads. That's the number that flashes on the screen at the keynote. That's the number your brain anchors to when you decide whether you can afford it. It is not the number you will actually pay, not even close. Because the iPhone isn't just a phone. It's an entry point into an ecosystem of purchases, subscriptions, accessories, repairs, and upgrade cycles that is engineered very deliberately, very profitably, to keep money moving from your wallet to Cupertino on a regular basis. Today we're doing the full math. Welcome back to Economics of Ownership. As of right now, the iPhone 17 lineup looks like this. The base iPhone 17 starts at $799. The iPhone Air, Apple's new ultra-thin model, starts at $999. The iPhone 17 Pro starts at $1,099. The iPhone 17 Pro Max starts at $1,199 and goes up to $1,599 for 1 terabyte of storage. Most people don't buy the base model because the base model is the one Apple builds to give them a lower number to advertise. The real purchase happens when you start making choices. More storage, the better camera, the bigger screen, and suddenly the $799 phone is $1,099 and climbing. And when you open the box, you know what's not in there? A power adapter. Apple removed the charger from iPhone boxes in 2020 and hasn't looked back. If you don't have a USB-C adapter already, and a lot of people don't, that's another $19 to $49 depending on the wattage, before you've made a single call. Oh, and a case. Because you just spent $1,000 on a glass rectangle and you're going to put it in your pocket unprotected, that's another $20 to $60, minimum. More if you want MagSafe compatibility. We're not at $799 anymore. What did you actually pay out the door for your last iPhone? Not the advertised price, the real number, after model choice, storage tier, case, charger, and whatever else ended up in your cart. Drop it in the comments. I want to see the gap between the advertised price and reality. Quick pause. If you want honest numbers-first breakdowns of what things actually cost to own, this is the series. We've done houses, Teslas, EVs, and Rivians. Subscribe so you don't miss the rest. Free. 2 seconds. Worth it. Okay, back to Apple. Here's the thing about owning a $1,000 plus glass device that lives in your pocket, gets dropped regularly, and occasionally meets a toilet. You need insurance. AppleCare Plus currently costs $139.99 a year for the iPhone 17 Pro models. It covers unlimited accidental damage incidents with a $29 deductible for screen repairs and a $99 deductible for other damage. It also covers up to 2 theft or loss incidents per year, each with a $149 deductible. Without AppleCare Plus, the out-of-warranty numbers are significantly less fun. A cracked screen on an iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max, $379. Screen and back glass together, $469. Rear camera, $249. A full device replacement without coverage, $349 to $1,599 depending on the model. So you're paying $140 a year to avoid a potential $379 hit on the screen alone. Over a 2-year ownership cycle, that's $280 in AppleCare Plus before the phone is upgraded. If you never crack the screen, you lost $280. If you crack it once, you saved $350 and only paid $29. The math works, but it's still $280 you weren't thinking about when you saw the $799 ad. The average iPhone owner upgrades their phone every 2.5 to 3 years, which sounds reasonable until you do the math on what that actually costs. iPhone 17 Pro Max at $1,199. AppleCare Plus over 2 years, $280. Case and charger, $70. Total ownership cost for 2.5 years before the next phone, approximately $1,550. Per year, about $620. That is $620 a year for a phone before your carrier plan, before any apps, before iCloud storage, which Apple will charge you for separately the moment your camera roll exceeds 5 gigabytes. Which it will, because Apple only gives you 5 gigabytes free in 2026 for a device with a 48-megapixel camera. That is a deliberate design choice, not an oversight. iCloud storage plans start at 99 cents per month for 50 gigabytes. Most families end up on the $2.99 per month 200 gigabyte plan or the $9.99 per month 2 terabyte plan. Over 2 years, that's $24 to $240 in additional cloud storage costs that the phone, the very expensive phone, essentially requires. How often do you upgrade your iPhone? Every year, every 2 years, every 3 or more? And, be honest, do you upgrade because your old phone can't do what you need, or because the new one exists and you want it? Drop it in the comments. There's no wrong answer. There might be an expensive answer. Here's the move Apple has made that is, from a pure business strategy perspective, genuinely impressive. They built an ecosystem so integrated that switching away from it carries a real cost. Your photos are in iCloud, your messages are in iMessage, your apps are paid iOS apps that don't transfer, your AirPods are optimized for Apple devices, your Apple Watch only works with an iPhone, your iPad syncs seamlessly with your Mac. Every Apple product you own makes every other Apple product more valuable and makes leaving more painful. This is called lock-in, and it's not accidental. Every product decision Apple makes is evaluated partly on how much it deepens that lock-in. The average Apple household, someone with an iPhone, Mac, iPad, Apple Watch, and AirPods, has invested thousands of dollars in an ecosystem that becomes significantly less functional the moment they try to leave it. You're not just buying a phone. You're buying into a system that is specifically designed to make itself increasingly difficult to exit. And it works. Apple's customer retention rate is consistently one of the highest of any consumer electronics company on Earth. Here's the real 5-year iPhone math for a Pro Max owner on the upgrade cycle. 2 phones over 5 years, approximately $2,400. Apple Care Plus for both, approximately $700. Cases and chargers, approximately $150. iCloud storage, approximately $180. Total, approximately $3,430 over 5 years, or about $686 per year. For a phone, that number is not an argument against owning an iPhone. It's genuinely a great piece of technology, and for many people, it's worth every dollar. The argument is simply this: know what you're actually buying. The $799 number is the beginning of the conversation, not the end. Subscribe for the next Economics of Ownership. The wedding episode is coming, and I have been sitting on those numbers for weeks. Drop a comment. Are you an every-year upgrader, a hold-it-until-it-dies person, or somewhere in between? See you in the next one.